human icons and I've been around members. Marinated goddess and gold, completely vegetarians. Punching the gouge has eruption. Bisected the left beam, because system was scripted, waiting that's assembled. Cannibalized enzymes, then he gets found in torsos. Lava gets a dime, each of the massive display, cut the infected abdomen. Equilibrium metaforensics. Scalpel, painting, blood. Regurgitate property, lacerate, skin evaporated, was built acid. Country purpose, you get the public incubation. No sympathy for the limitless, speaking beggars, feed along wells. Victory, musky caskets, dusting your crust from vaginal skin. Carbonated, cut, collapse, send into the moment harvest. Skeleton ravage, left over from yesterday's lunch. Gotta find it completely sickening, masticating a glass shard. Titillated by grinding bones. Talk garbage in the gold habitat. Titillated by grinding bones. Talk garbage in the gold habitat. Gagging out guts as you get decapitated. Saving the last bits of crumbs and get leftovers like opium bomb. I had to work. Blacking it rotted inside until my parents' visit. Septic and foul. Admitting in the bulk of decomposition. Regenerate carnivore. Losing the tongue fungal growth. Festering up in the microbes. I was on the look over phobia bed sores. No separation. Religion composing apathy. Systematical somebody pride. Being revolting is insulting. External pressure implode. You interrupted my feet from the best. Yes, I'm living a kind of fuck. It's hitting a search. Far from the theory and the theory about to be dispensed. But we're down with the focus. Contemplating. Hitting is parodying about the board. Contours. Repulsive and agony. Down fossils. Carving your back of body, organ by organ. Soaking in the test and be the latest shot from the dark. Dripping from around the cavities, go test plagues away. Temptation so pure, I stay bolted and removed. Hollowed out thick liquid, dripping from your cavities. Include absorbed by decay, muscle, cover cadavers. I'm purging, punching, see it's a worm infested, epic carcass. Now skin as you see a work of art, piercing. And with every brutality tackles the fingers on, epic hunger burden. I was under the table, bone tension, and pulverized torsos, body blood, mutilated, decapitated, decomposed, elevated, considered, ejaculated, hitting, consumption by the fate, divided, divine, absent, and final, holy, gratified, the end is peace, nothing good to it, burning minds. Immaculate vision, this man, but walking around with cut up body parts, forgotten in the rubber, the suffocated, bleeding, covered this up with the boat, indigenous sacrilegious, combusting, kid, creation, craft. Throwing up a abomination, gotta jump and put the really king in the paradox. Face mask, covered you a dark, until I better from random members. Buried in the goddess and gold, you bleeding vegetarians. Punching the gouge, just eruption. Bisected the left beam, as it was scraped, the wicked is assembled. Cannibalized enzymes, it can smell the torso. Lava gets a dime, reach of the macerated display, cutting infected abdomen. Equilibrium metaforensics. Scalpel, painting, blood.
Shine of Faustian odors of lion, color with somnambulism. They did him about his book of powers to pits like rubbish for years into the fish. Cause the kingdom comes and will be done so with levels in the heavens, the quiver light show. So, woman, my flesh, flow of the holy corn cobs. And vicious fights for heat and light in the lowest of chlorobs. We grow towards the brightest light we can detect. But as dead things we will, just like foliage and insects. Torch carriers conceal the skeleton key. Like the glory of God, the bird of your eyes and your Golgotha. You can catch a scorpion, sun-kissed, well disposed. Cause you don't know hello, no beginning or end to the tunnel. When you reap what you sow, what the watchers will show. Falling so far down, dark age with bloodless sounds. Can't hide from spirit in the dark. The light will expose all your hearts. We've fallen so far down, dark age with bloodless sounds. Can't hide from spirit in the dark. The light will expose all your hearts. Whoever shall survive to inherit the hells of earth, strength among the demons in the hollow catacombs.
Whoever shall survive to recover the kills of earth and rank among demons in the hollow catacombs and chasms. Never that I'm blanking in a tabernacle, me that I'm Bibles and fables for you to ponder. Wonder when the heavens are gonna collide into a kaleidoscope, pocket the planet does monsters. Every recognizable feature of energy translating into an entity of collective collaboration, composition, and carnivorous execution in class. Light up in the minute, cooties and chat. Learn about all the sacred plants, botanical garden to enhance the knowledge advanced, too complex, filling advanced, embedded into your reflex, striking without a thought defense mechanism, put into action because of my own method contraption, trapping audio captions. I'm invigorated, but I thought I'd be lost. Nowhere to be found unless you listen to the sound of that margin. Jumping that bottom of a portion compound. Laceration to the thought margin with a blows in the separate elements of fireworks. Displaying 100 grand birds in the forehead for the time being. Pre-recorded information brought to you by the speed of light Martians. Engraved emotion, misunderstood without a doubt. They look at the never ending found in the blood of future generations to be conquered by mind pollution, brainwash, contamination, finding its way to the source of spreading disease. Maybe we all need a wake-up call. Wiped off the planet, die, and one day return to a better land of spiritual, mental, and emotional freedom. But until that day, we get to reside in such a beautiful and horrific existence. Reformatting into the caverns of prophecy. Reformatting into the caverns of prophecies. Humans, luminous atmosphere, subterranean caves are the culprit. Luminous atmosphere, subterranean caves are the culprit. Alive with the inner sun tied to the moon, reptilian doom, a part of a new cocoon. Breaking news from the bounds of heaven, walking the stair with the colors like a door, purgatory, death metagory. Fighting on a dragon to think of a Drake coast, get his skin to take home. Spinning the glow that is stuck in a sleeper cold, getting metal trash is best served cold.
You are what you eat, and I'm disgusting. I define unhealthy junk food.
Eat right and tuck yourself in the night. The boogeyman is just one of the many personalities of oneself.
Spirits, ghosts, ghouls, apparitions, and tools. Two couples on the unending path of knowing. Tree of knowledge in a whole basket of apples. All we can do our children and do a repetitive cycle of control, chaos, layoff, sickening cost for the atmosphere. A little symbolic, isn't it? Just like the rest of the biblical code, laced with numerology and fables. Distorted lies, phantom with the poles, UFOs, nobody knows that it's something you're told. And you happen to be in the middle of the planet, not the earth's crust, but the earth's core.
We drag up all the bodies and dump it in the hot spots. We drag up all the corpses and dispose it in the magma. We drag up all the bodies and dump it in the hot spots. We drag up all the corpses and dispose it in the magma. We drag up all the bodies and dump it in the hot spots. Everything marked with significance, cremation with 10 times the equivalence. Concave earth, ethereal, spherical, geocosmos on the ley lines to resonate the magical loopholes in the time stretch, prime meridian nebula. Babylonian brotherhood holding everything chained down, passed down the family into red rascals, raising the thought scalpel. Dissecting secret societies, underground races in a hollow planet. 9/11 demolition job with scaly men and formaldehyde. This frozen flame will continue to burn the sun, and the tides of the moon will continue to alter moods. Elemental fountain of Artesian youth.
Fighting in a wishing well, waiting for the taste of hell. It was only your face with the semen of 17 men and each you alive. With the heat of times from your forgotten insides. With a good time, for a little bit of e-time. With with the king short, for the king divine. And I'm to find anybody better than the God that learned to be at the age of 5. Such a tender age to learn that we're all sinners, with horns under pigtails and mop tops.
This magical mystery tour, miscellaneous facets of history. Please delete the least completed versions of the past. The task to own the cast, he searches the words, inscriptions that serve the purpose of worms. Turn what happened to the past and got erased, replaced by trash, embedded in smash into a goal. With the passion of fashion has become to ignore, but we should come to deploy.
End of tunnel, multi-dimensional, no.
and just transition vanish where you vision. Nobody can see me, just don't like that genie. Suddenly it's see delusion on repeating. Smoke bomb in my pocket, really there, quite busy now. It's time to drop it. Always got one with me, beautiful illusion, psychotropic type of feeling, hitchhiking, skinwalker, distant drumming of the fire marcher. They made a god for us to latch onto. They made a god for us to hold on to.
Fictitious Christian visions, the mission to bring the sedatives to detrimental sentiments, sending the suffering servant such a penalty for the very own imaginary Jesuses. Instead of answers that will better serve us, this Holy Ghost that slowly hoaxes us into complacent places with faceless masons placing shackles on their patient patience.
They made a god for us to latch onto.
Jesus Christ, I covered the risk against all every person, the person pressed by the audio about the daily chaos. Fortified, light, preserved, in the child could have degraded his levels, madness, skin of my aging bodies. The sun, gigabits to a brace, credible days start walking up on the underground honeycomb bay. Hopeless space, anger might have you to the temple data, caution, focus on the image between your eyes. Then, all still I do treat a lot, but how many sense in the chemical space, but everything gave up in your brain, relaxing. Vision, that's your vision, not forbidden, massive usage, the savage fusion, hype, over for bringing go balance from chasms above the great critical mouth of the golden cycle higher. As music stay into pieces in the land of the proud to be enslaved. What a bloody beautiful journey. The thought existed portal between destination, been attended the telephone booth, disintegrated the gravitated clock. Reaching premonition, second attached, line up position, got the cap boss, the total kind of dust body sleeping in the trees. Found within the staircase, I'm getting a pass, I'm reading the resident apology, go down the video past the contemplated infected love. I touch the super, the food, the jelly with side, stuck to the step with the pocket full of this, broken down jealousy. Motion managed thought to begin to such a conspicuous patient of similarity can pass on the third religious complex around to myself. We each and sometimes see the biggest bounds by passing that to the matter. We can all form experiences that I've been in contemporary philosophy, eradicated the 12 roots. I can tell myself occasion of visits to adventure for spirits. It's living in my master, your mind over the lead to 12 positive mindsets. Fully extensively go with the purpose of existence. And over a lot of vision, speculated, turn up perfection, and trying to become a recognize the president of attention to the mercy take up space. It's without the feeling of big significance, we don't say the big and the perfect is no greater with projected fullness of the collective toll. Spastic, the biggest spastic, having multiple thoughts of what's the meaning of us being here. The the purpose, that's just how reality is. Self-sufficient and self-fulfilled, the system is raw. Your ears beg for more.
What a talent we have, and the facts we lose us out of simply a string of bad turns, pure heart till the burnt out abusers. I don't touch her enough until my nose blows bubbles and the workers liquefied assets engulf my being conscious forward. What you should do, I don't rearrange blocks of the soul and fix my feet into these prints. I remain looking to those surviving in makeshift shelters are still never replacements for this world with a healthy design. Temptation lies to me. Think the sucker will sleep as a keep this investment wrapped tight. At most, one hand claps versus the sculpture Minecraft. Welch broken apart, rail path. Let loose, when winded undo new school snail. The vertebrae jello will best move. Test grooves, that's what we do. Throwing up the fools out of control simply to abuse. This occupation hosts the gremlins of frustration. When it comes to further expanding, no motivation. Take it unless you're dedicated with the heart's hands, visions or communications. And when movements crumble, tumble, we don't fumble. Blaming yourself in drunken stupors as you stumble. Some show regret as seeing things pass. Others harness experience upon this short path.
This is very forest,
sword without resistance, short in the reflux on receding roots. Extract fatigue, strung to exhaust and knows itself. Under the draping ocean retreat, in need of replacement, dished out the beat through acres. Accurate placement attached with debris. Bark is bleeding and releasing series of dense currents. Relay combustible imprints, or pass sentimental decisions. Always seem to light right before the dreaded error refuses to set back. Divisions with ambitious torque tide shelter the heartache. Finally it subside, prone to destroy, trail to the earth seal. Still, condensed continents vanish, assuming the title of burial. Transporting the boss and oral circumference, transient repercussions. Peaking intense achievements, carved in the crest of Donnie Murphy's curves. Love commutes, branched by ability. Branched by ability.
To my meditation, branch your life. Shelter my investment to my meditation, branch your life. White stems from the system of soul, something targeted, explosive, rotten aptitude. They came upon the predictable chrome, crocked by a shortness of breath, though. Since it became an routine display of torture with behavior, ignoring action supposedly. Like with that, implicate another body of certain probable construction of consistent vacating through distant aromas of escaping to a structural preemptive condition. A formula to injustice that separates with what fluctuates as a season, no repetition, inflicting realism into the scopes and into the criticism that supports a doctrine of a declining hope of a level that complicated measures permitted by the death of sentences announced unclear, impossible to dark explications of air possession, a hollow caress with personal fate the bark dictates, dependent layers that accept age through a continual contraception, and it should not allow organs and skin to hibernate. Shelter what lives in the system to my meditation, branch your life. Organs and skin, shelter what lives in the system to my meditation, branch your life.
Trapped out the trip in the death trap, joining a gallery of suicide in the moonlight. Many critics hiding in the crevices, watching a war between man and wildlife. Running in a dark forest, surrounded by a brigade of black cannibals. Trees that come out in a burning mantle. Arthropods guarding an anthropology, waiting the flesh of the reeking stick tree carcasses. To evaporate a thought of consciousness, these limbs can be too good to add to the bonfire. As an idiot comes like a chainsaw to chop my manages, I become a mere stomach, can't help to escape the physical shell. Floating in the water that's looking at the number, cutting getting spray painted with darkness. A whole super canopy sitting your green dust cease to exist because of the greedy predators. Hanging on the thread of life, these roots still spread on the way down to the underground vicinities. Reborn of repetition with never more carbon branches unimaginable. Come to take over the governmental plan, drag the feet and crawl. Past the realm of stagnant philosophies, creating atrocities, accomplishing a prodigy, poppy seed monstrosity. Shifted to a skinny flash out with a limited bit of a cat dies. Telepathic scratching under the surface when a dead tree lies. All my ancestors will turn into patterns of wooden figurines. Cut up and made into couch in the shelter, the overpopulated master survival necessity. Breaking the alignment, the compost, and fertilizer accomplished.
Organs and skin to hibernate. Shelter what lives in the system to my meditation, branch your life. Organs and skin, shelter what lives in the system to my meditation, branch your life.
The accuracy is unlit. Bitches have been into my arcane members. Pistol, natural sprays in the skies. Pouring hearts weighing and voting a petrified moves still to delay. Desolate monsters swallow blindness. Fade the moment adjusting the amputated appendage. Black mark bloods, the excavating surrounding ones. Breaking a spirit into dusky footprint. Shade is a sun. A flesh burn from offering in abundance. Hemorrhage and bottomless roots. Deposit the decency to snap vessels. So poor called light, vaguely detained by minimal observations. Unchanging the form of informal soot. The drudgery falling notice into a smoky disgrace. A lifeless mark to engrave the loss of a smoldering cry. Embers leaking tone to exhibit the incandescent glimpse when the flesh and blood finish. A horticulturalist mess murderous. Ignition contaminates the cellular knots. Damaging the virus, linen bots, structural tissue abuse. Pitiful shame, the intricate cortex, the harness. It hardens the exploit.
Organs and skin to hibernate. Shelter what lives in the system to my meditation, branch your life.
back, life for the golden keys. I so know it, but you can't see when the catastrophe. When all the innocent witnesses die. If your kid is stabbing a cat, the crunch box family size. You need a ball of shot in front of prison, call me Dr. Hydraulic Jaw. The only girl of my teeth is to cook people's flesh. Chop the niggas a bone like a pig's worst nightmare. Separated the aliens, reptilians, extraterrestrial. I will not be left with them as the son of the gods. At the very the daughters of man, unidentified like God. Collecting the children of the matrix, 12 planets, superior grid. It's a tribe of what we call humanity. Our country's run by satanic masonism, symbolical series of manipulated mindsets. Raise and control the cold blooded, ego-driven powers of the dark creature of every super running space suit, astronaut wings. According to rapid over the skeleton, building of pharmaceutical packages. Prescribing a new way to die. Once they can find a gadget against the addiction to chemicals, killing everyone faster. Population control, terrorist bombs, walking in front of the serpent, and wonder why they got that much up to the chest.
Universal holograms. What we see is just illusion. Universal holograms. Reality inside the mind. Dreams within a dream within a dream.
You laughing because I'm different. I laugh at you cause you're the same. A lack of intelligence, hypnotic is not true. It's like a gun embedded barcodes in the eyeballs. Decoded this time falls. Hear, smell, taste, see, touch. 3D reality, microchip is way too much. Over devices in the skin in the future. Global control, don't give up for individual rights, no place, no door.
If you try to look for enlightenment, maybe you shouldn't be looking. It's been inside all these years. The only place to look is within. Universal holograms. What we see is illusion.
Projected on the city of a planetary, it looks way too real. Manifested, separated, vibrated the frequency from the matrix. Illuminati copy, my mind self-copy. Clone of a copy, ripples of life sloppy. Precision of the bloodline floppy. Anunnaki, puppet master with no strings attached. I'm connected to all's connected to me. Transform light into electrical signals delivered to our brain for interpretation. To the dimensional holographic simulation of what is real.
Universal holograms. Reality inside the mind. Universal holograms. What we see is just illusion.
You gotta be nuts too. And you're gonna need a crew as nuts as you are.
In the eyes of the serpent, ritual full-blown, all complex, so stop. Gentlemen, political vampire, sitting and out, then the body count, then fly. In the eyes of the serpent, ritual full-blown, all complex, so slap.
generated political vampires. Heading your flight, then the generated count that died. But they related the planet with cold blood, it became a computer generated dream. Take a mind from the womb of terror, my kitchen programmers suddenly triggered shell. But not so military with the media system to maintain humanity in a constant state of fear, worry, stress, and anger, rising emotion of the man. Slaves conform with ceremonial reenactments, legal religious culture, deception, the territoriality, superstition became a progressive by the bloodline. Trying to reach the sublime, climbing the red grapevine. Trying to reach the sublime, climbing the red grapevine. It's a watching clock, repeating the cycles, disconnected the fibers. Rational, logical, fresh imagination, intuition, and subconscious. Instinctive dream state with the creative inspiration of the honest. Communication, transfer, symbolic representations, all upon a manipulation. Peeking it down to the back down, never left, working together, you better get out of place. Babylonian bipolar, stay bipolar, with the scales for the costume. Indicate that's most parasitic, big for percentage, simple in the topless feet. Walking out there, never tape, with the sleep on the Egyptian content. Talking to the pharaohs and all when they die, I see that people six us beneath the massacre lines. Common up a country, don't stand up and y'all, but couldn't in plain view. Hidden by the government, big dogs, coming into personal fuck up. Cluttered by the pen of the genocide, that they believe exterminate the race.
We rely, won't get more of material things. As time goes by, it's gonna get to the point where our mind is losing shape. As supercomputers take our job, we slowly die. Getting farther away from the spiritual. We rely, won't get more of material things. As time goes by, it's gonna get to the point where our mind is losing shape. As supercomputers take our job, we slowly die. Getting farther away from the spiritual.
As cycles rise on assembly lines in the apple, uppercuts, microchip, intelligence, fear goes to paralyze. Homo sapiens, satellite, echoes of pain, and company lonely is vibrational machines. Mass produce zombies, hiding, running, sleepless, endless, readjusting. Habitual destruction, creating world orders, rising cultures into yellow monster quarters. Someone turn off, automated operation of nascent memories of Tetrahedron, catastrophe, now apathy is in order. In the hands of doom, battle rebirthing earthlings, alive, gears so certain news. Humans move into delusion, humans move into cocoons.
Up on top of your chakra, putting out the young rap with a face to the eat, slap people with a dark beat.
It's musical chairs and you lost your seat. Perforated lines on the mechanical animals, cyborgs of destructing time bomb.
Counting down to the end of the earth. Why do you think we call it a computer monitor? Maybe because we can be observed. Super data picked up by technical mechanics and vision out by getting what them wants to tap in the system.
Just for planetary.
I don't care what other people think of me, cause what he's thinking is someone thinking outside the box.
In the eyes of the serpent, ritual, mobile, non complex, so slide. In the eyes of the serpent, ritual, mobile, non complex, so slide.
headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, yeah, man. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Slipping away past the paragraph, a little nonsense. Fables if you the code on the language. Every is over into the burning in the same power. You can pray to your inner mind, so imagine blackness with no ego and let yourself drift away from the madness. We are all melting in the same furnace. Internal energy circulating in a wall of confusion. End up in a state of illusion. Atheist and agnostic, you're not a go out control. We are all disintegrated to the same problems. Internal mechanism circulating in a wall of garbage. Meaning filled over, get more the visual deformities.
Motherland occupied as the world shuts their eyes as my tears crystallize. Born only to die, surprise I'm still alive as the lies of mortal life. With history's pages too, I got you shook like Polynesians and Captain Cook. Fictional like Peter and Captain Hook. I made you look, 'cause ain't no such thing as half-read books.
Black cave, empty cages, your angels wage war for saving face. Telling the truth conveniently as demons fall into routine. Keep their cameras pointing and focus, historians rolling corpses. Human interpretation forced into impressional minds. Filtering words of ancient scribes. Be afraid of fair change in Dudley's Inferno. Go to the Sunday masquerade when donations hit baskets for eternal life. And imagine hypocrisy is granted with rights to global expansion. Death from the heavens thou shall be saved.
You, let me touch your wings off. Do you even remember what flight feels like? A dead skin collection makes a sneak night. On the front you hold too tight. White knuckle, lost to blood style. The last time you set the butterflies free from your stomach, that's just even been a while. I'm a malfunctional sanctuary. Let me see your socks. Question marks are like fish that about to drop.
Coping for the lies that cloud in their mind and every Sunday pop. They teach the kids that pray into God to step from angel wings. So suffer for the consequence, of course, if never abiding these rules and conflict. Opportunity, give parents everything. It's a masquerade of false idols and another way to control the feasible. Misguiding us with their books and teeth and try to smash to what they feed. Unworldly, holy mess. Funny sense to what suits me best. Till I leave and be as one with the earth dispensed.
Inhale the economic conquer by the blow out clouds of propaganda smoke. Ready that apparatus, we got a load full of device suggesting that you can quote. Inhale the economic conquer by the blow out clouds of propaganda smoke. Ready the apparatus, we got a load full of device suggesting that you can quote. Evaporate the Babylonian paper, knowledge of the mind, don't in the rolling paper. Snapping the flesh of the word, breaking the text, flows and the biblical proportions. Inhale the economic conquer by the blow out clouds of propaganda smoke. Inhale the economic conquer by the blow out clouds of propaganda smoke. Unpredictable bacteria forming even in danger.
Doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom. Doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom.
Information is drawn by major media, religion destroys spirituality. Everything is one thing and it was not a seeming argument. Citizens stop for what reason? Police. Citizens stop for what reason? Squat. lung in the throat, both quacks and give it a key and thought. The throat, the thought, the ancient sacred dreads, experience, what thought. Graves and tracks, and spoken within itself, including strangers left on that play. We fucking per addict, fucking hurt. We did this before, why did it hurt now? It's programmed that way. It's up to give it to you, go to the tip of your wall before decay. Find your crystal, this earth's cold would explode on its seventh plane. To the birth of the make it found the time to just spare some fucking J. DGAOTU, which under the stars, and the upload just active rise. The architect constructed the 5 platonic solids, 13 alchemitic and objects, voice so aqueducts and art. That's got a flame, so of a surface, but the red to divide the destruction. Like the chest and smoke, she's a deck, the golden dawn, and feast the upper and over cost, and the Greek won't exist in this willfully flaws. Members of average and I strive to perfect form without applicable safe symposium in the third planet, hexagon. Struck wide open, motion out of sockets, but the mouth is confident, the memory of profit, no hope, better alchemical process, the robo, revolution, harvest, though the pebbles, straight to rumbles, trouble the rivals, eagle. Back stuff to the child crossing, vision with eyes, the coping heart is falling from high hopes. Squad core, the hunchback after a life to make kissing toes. A world with fuller ends, those who were dying in the merry-go-round circle.
Designated cubicles for a sign. Forget the war, we're joining the projects. Conceptive black offices of the movement. There's a nature for that, so ready for a cubic. And cybernetic in the sacral systems. Twisting the heat, power back. Ridiculous design of what's up and hands. Fixing it bad. The program is a definition that's been dropped in dark process to express a systematic progress. Ripping test flash. All color schemes and the shapes and nature of a tick of command. Because the class with formulas of corporate. Hope of saving is sustained whatever heart mind. The instruments can still muster with but the common. Reject the use of a super prominent. Social codes, ring of collective core. And governments of rich man called glove. Representation prevails in my home. Representation prevails in my home. Why is the breakthrough so long? Cause it's out. What's the rule of the chapter? Prove the fact that we're on the black. Some conclusions are invisible because of any flaws in the platform. Process the classes when it calls a tiptoe tactic to big and accurate mission to pull from inspirations. Single sound mechanism to a complex vessel carrying more of them just locked in sound.
All the stuff foundation of thought. On the ground, they could take the dig away, resurrect every put it in the back of the guns up, bring it back to the adapted, edified by the price stop. Back in the broken castle. Conduction, chemical compounds, center, cracking the concept, primitive fixes, cerebellum, carcinogen, cancer, prescribing, copy, captions, out, triple flows, capture, for your convenience. Calamity concept, critical check, and stuck with a creepy carcass. Hypothesis, metamorphosis, concept, structure, biomechanical, technical proof that there's more than BCI. As we feed up the vibe, we come to eat your brain. Carcass, rappers in the colossal. As heavens disconnect, we ask to project, dissect. Horrific, horrendous, horrible, horrified horror. Another of us thinking to breathe by your chemical human blueprint. Contaminate, medical, venomous, tentacles, sentinel, baby bad. Allergic to oxygen, welcome to the village. Organic process, levitate but paralyzed. Petrified, so the dead frozen, prevent to die. Push out the lab, that's when you wake up. Lift, elevate, fly to the roof in the shape shift. Still breathing up the cover as I make friends with the crowd 6 feet deep.
Centrifugal total collapse, structural integrity, sacrifices and heavy infertility in this convoluted game. Blueprint appraisal is just so painful to analyze the design of the activity. Or she keeps screaming like a bastard child with broken toys. Stuck in gears, the apparatus, I can take those status, stalemate. Don't hold your breath, we're waiting a reply from the records and vandal semblance to the original form. Just a yellow forest, gag reflects on the finger of fate. Satiate the absence of foundation built upon the void. Oh, how Carcass we really are the machinery it has. Relentlessly programmed for gold, time embrace the base instinct of variety. The circuitry, bestial effect, infested these holograms for protection's sake. The interface is affected from the universe with the negative fishermen awaiting an opportunity where we slip and feed these entities with a negative energy. Must be aborted before further conversions occur. Yet you still stand there, bathing in digital sources of biblical proportion as a cleanse. Where were you when they were passing on monkey wrenches, my friend?
Multiple philosophy to fold it, broke atrocity. We don't know for clock and speed, the mojo, so we're lock and key. We broke free from containment in this prison-headed arrangement. Division status derangement. With what we bring to the table, we break seams and disables the weak fiber optic dreams of these labels with the freshness, less than compression, and as it's stretching past any and all math, pen and a fall, perhaps dimension dissolve. So rest in ease, the blessed dreams of sleep, disease, deception recipe. Getting the best of me to spin in and live in hell. A vision of division felt in the simplest prison cell, where the fact is lacking facts to react to snap it back. This path attraction fad just so happens to damage man. Dismantle distraction fast, mathematical contraption hand. But when can we see? Let's grieve for human beings. The sheep that sleep and moving speed too weak to further think. I mean, but yet detect the dialect. We fed the lioness to see the Leviathan and try again. And we wired death to intertwine and I and flesh the connection of you and me. The perception of truth for free and the freshest fruit conceived.
My thoughts defy gravity, design mind with savagery. Define the design with 9 times insanity. Shine within anarchy, refine my energy. Becomes a centerpiece when I enter speech. Men, I'll teach them a new right from wrong. The one that cannot figure out where the lights are gone. Right or wrong, the type was wrong. When the challenge up, going against the light. But your jaw miles up. Disfigured bodies let it flow. They couldn't handle the process of know which way to go. So identities and choke holes, like the disease broke souls. Truth is so cold enough to free these hopefuls with the low blows that arise to the occasion. From numb not to succumb to constant invasion. Many cases, but the status hasn't changed yet. Can't be more prepared to stay in the grip of this rain west. Rain west, rain west, rain west, rain west, rain west, rain west, rain west.
Shit, I wonder when to evaporate reality. Circuit of Babel from a humanoid that demon couch. Misinformed that I'm back with materialistic surrounding scalpel. Coverage and everything, but out of a baby dinosaur cerebellum. A techno shaman, cyberpunk that's assimilated the virus. Everybody run around headless with a red fountain coming out of the neck hole. Swallowed in my circuit, never cease to sort out the inner rotation. Rectangular circle trying to fit into the catacombs of an obtuse oval. Unify the black and snow crystal, the open dimensions. Communicate through planets from your solar panels, glass catastrophe. Symmetrical attitude replacing the catapult shot to the mountains. Roll down the valley, drown to the lake, reborn the Jurassic Christian plummet to the deep end. Started shining guys staring with a cold gaze in the very wasteland. Defining pattern transforming to the trail of whispering statues. A requiem performing lose the purity of blind emotions. And victims in a symphony of unintelligent chakra tones. Kind of devotion fabricated the misinformation of the slaughter. Looping and flickering decay my brain rot to the mental battlefield. The nocturnal emptiness in the sky. Imprinted the moonlight shadow so we can leave the human soul enchanted and ignorant to the control.
Important message, a keto technician. We met 0 response, current speed, limit unexpected tow zone. No turn on red alert, nothing worth me. And get it going stupid. Get used to it, it isn't the same finish. Sunlight suddenly blinded me. If it's done right there, then we don't need an apology. Pleasant recently, wishy-washy, but get cleansed. We translate it, then we worry about it again and again and again. The same rights. I get used to it, we look up and wait for the left to win, lost, and then we're trying to worry about our career. Minds beginning to brighten up the picture. future. It's fine if the chute fits. Get rid of the transmitted filter water vapor solution. Hold your breath, yes, but I don't worry about thank goodness free installation when I'm flying on demand if it's illusion. I can't stand still, waiting for me to be convinced. In the meantime, we listen as they walk along the ocean for miles. Partial blue skies, the rest isn't gray enough to consider. Why trials and tribulation painted triangles, faceless. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Love and Hate, 1 second later to be topless. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Love and Hate, 1 second later to be topless.
Send for the spaceship full of my people, walk on water, teleported. Now you see me, now you don't disappear, reappear. Deep in the universe, falling into, sucked in a black hole like a vacuum. Supernova, gamma ray, light up the galaxy, gravity, blood with the optical, ultraviolet, astronomy, orbited by velocity, thermodynamic, calibrated, and made the closer of dark molecular mass. Did the astronauts really stop the move with the flag? Telepathy follow me, canopy, catapult, lobotomy, leaking leeches, lingering on the land of the locust. Optimal cable gets the mention next, Doppler effect. At first, the everyday to get a dance to preserve the bodies, but gradually techniques involved in a not sophisticated preservation, complete mummification involved, removing the brain and attention, inserting water, little bits of sodium consponsion all into the cavities. The inside to preserve the full jaws, tend to be protected by the full sons of chorus. The car was not removed like the rest to stay with the body because it was a scene of one spirit. Complete mummification had been affordable beyond the circle of the Pharaoh's family. But it was still out of reach of the lower classes. Lower classes. It's an attachment but the connection is loose. Possession as the space of my own personality. It's an attachment but the connection is loose. I put my head to the news but I was already decapitated. This is all fake, but who said imagination isn't real? That it be shaking the foundation of visual levitated in a margin of nothing from a close in a mind of that technology slip wide open. The bottom be leaking leeches, lingering on the land of the locust. Surgical incision, precise, typical of the nerves. Optimal cable, get the mention next, up with effect, Milky Way, redirect.
界的逆风也都是给东京卡的 Kitty Desu PlayStation 是不顾害处阿里嘎多 Miyazaki Sushi wasabi musubi furukake bukake Yakuza sake akubo tamagotchi Tokyo Bomb Oto ite ne ite moi desu ka Chichi dango mochi grab your chichi damyo Hadashi hadashi Katakana kirigana kanji takeshi mi ike I feel Japanese class I feel Japanese I feel Japanese class I feel Japanese Ninja Shogun Katana Kasaki Sokomo Nobunaga Sabonosuke Onimusha Banzai Tree Yokozuna Tekken Street Fighter Guilty Gear Mega Man Final Fantasy Super Saiyan Kakarot Chichi ni Sanchi grab your chichi All the good games are from Asia All the good films are from far away Japanese animated cartoons kill American talent We have all cooking other hibachi Human barbecue banquet beholding such a natural flesh-eating environment Blinded by mental shackles and subliminal upbringings In the voice of a governmental scoundrel There's too much homo sapiens anyways Kawaii so okinodoku kimono with printed sodoku Eating like Goku sensei king Kamehameha from Hawaii Intimidated to catacomb dream skulls making up the walls covered in layers of dust skeletal fragments Shots out of the wind and in the dark at the end of death metal grind no sport and dust you can do money and tentacle slugs schizo face That's up for the college of repeat through a windmill crescent kick arms distance Perpetually converted into a perfect propaganda impeachment predetermining impeccable scaly fucking juggernaut That's what the government thinks of us intentionally giving us viruses I'm not the bomb They don't give a fuck about you and your families They just want control To be the brainwashed citizens busting ass driving the trap of corrupt economic price margins skyrocketing becoming more desperate to be a toll for the puppet masters Supporting a war full of bullshit and lies We pay our dues to be manipulated That's not freedom, that's slavery
And now their eyes drift lazily I know it's crazy to think but God will save me And death will come but it'll be pain-free So they believe lamely And follow like the same sheep We count before sleep Simply praying for their soul to keep But while you're unconscious the soldiers creep Sweeping from house to house And no amount of home security can keep them out And it's the same plan from the US to Japan See no man stands alone And no flag will be left on any pole So we take it underground We wander around under surveillance But there ain't no censorship when we take it to the basements Just like the slave ships The media's fake and taking payments It's all staged and prearranged They killed us for ratings So homo sapien is sacred They'll rape your brainstem No concern for aging It's just a game for them This is just a small piece The first stone thrown in the streets They sit on the edge of their seats But won't fight for peace
Regardez la couleur de ce
Oui, mais je préfère quand même le ciel bleu.
Non, c'est pour rien. Je crois qu'on pourrait s'habituer à celui-ci. Et sans doute aimer.
Voix off. Lexzen, Yem Senha. Voyage au centre de la terre. Descendre nos rêves tel un crépuscule blanc immaculé. Le temps et l'espace froissés comme un papier, les cailloux témoins de l'avancée humaine. Désespèrent devant ce spectacle vivant inséminé. Les plantes si belles abandonnées s'écartent pour laisser place au règne du fer et du ciment. Leur trésor chimique destiné aux consciences à redécouvrir avant la contamination. Un anti-monde, pensée unique et incompréhension où les masses résignées consomment jalousement. L'humain soumis à l'économie de marché, la peur, le règne du loup au centre du troupeau. La guerre permanente et sans fin entre nations, le ventre plein, on déteste l'ennemi d'en face. Les religions censées nous élever semblent nocives pour cette humanité adolescente, égoïste et puante. En vérité les cendres couvriront tout, des centres-villes, le champ de céréales artificielles. Réveil désenchanté, fin de l'expérience avant l'évolution souhaitable de nos instincts. Notre fuite annoncée vers les étoiles, vers un astre quasi similaire au nôtre à partager.
We're killing the planet, watching the ozone become thinner than a piece of paper. Ecosystem mutilated by humans, majority of the population without a care for the world, turning their back on their own family. Disgusted by manipulated and brainwashed from the beginning of life, possibly shut down by your elders. As I sit up to run to the battlefield and complicated interdimensions, I come unarmed with a mental force fit as a weapon. It's only a matter of time before the earth rocks over the camp with ridiculous natural disasters. To lead the next generation, word to God, we gather information from a box. A form of entertainment to the tool, no one even hacks anymore. Stupidity is linked to the boards, I'm coming in by imbeciles in the space shuttle pause. We're killing the planet, homo sapiens have become our only enemy. Forgave you, but did you forgive yourself? Try not to let anything build up. Working with free space lowers the chances of being too fast. 1,000 faces of happiness, joyful, exhilarating negativity, release meaningful encounters with the inner divine productivity, projection and compassion, forgiveness, opening of the crown, spitting out energy to the zenith of the local sky through spinal circulation and low frequency energy, healing spirit band-aid. Everything is done for the heart and would not permit you to engage in selfishness. The most evil individual shows you what not to become or turn yourself into. And the shittiest predicament sheds light to the soul. It's a learning battlefield that sometimes comes along with scar tissue to remind you what road or path to choose. We're all here to embrace the destiny and build the knowledge of understanding. Repelling brainwashing can be harmful, but isn't it better to not be ignorant to the static? And then it comes down to perception and polarity. Good and bad, yin and yang could all be interchangeable depending on the bendable medium. I am my worst critique, I am my most harshest judge. No priest can take away my sins, I'm afraid it's a little bit deeper than that. Touch! Intentions are embedded with a tinge of extrasensory visualization. Fortunate and grateful for sensitivity and appreciative sun. Enhanced instincts like the movement of an ant. Spectrum widening and possibility and range. Positivity, suffering negative situations. The world so much more understandable. Life is a love and hate relationship, and even those two are binded by the hip. These eyes can smell at the fingertip. Here's watching judgment disappear. And the vocal box can transcend energy deeper than the arrangement of words. Spurge out the creation, distributing the assortment of wisdom and clairvoyance. I feel so lucky to play a part in the art of manifestation and higher thought. It's a gift of breathe and inhale, circular vibration, picking away at the seat. This new generation is humanity's last hope. We were meant to supply love to the earth to receive the mirror image of purification and door relentless beating to the ego. So glad to exist, my life can be taken at any moment. Am I prepared? This is all a game, a big test, struggling in this beautiful existence. Thank you for the opportunity to grow. Thank you for making my life glow. I promise to be me and only me, nourishing the roots of my twin tree. Thank you for the opportunity to grow. Thank you for making my life glow. I promise to be me and only me, nourishing the roots of my twin tree. The priest forgave you, but did you forgive yourself? Try not to let anything build up, working with free space, lowers the chances of being two-faced. Rotating balls of light force with no need to indulge in a lie. Without a feeling to pretend I am only Jake, not a demon sucking you dry. The truth can be hard to swallow, but would you rather digest false accusations of manipulation or consume reality and positivity to the heart? It's almost like we inhale through the same lungs, feeling the same breeze that makes the leaf dance. The only thing I can do is do what I wish someone else would do. Your enlightening eyes melts my psyche, opening channels and grid points, aligning coordinates to sapient mind, sharing the same drink with the same straw. For the alignment of stars, to being running circles of spaceship rumble, awaiting the age of Aquarius. Soon humanity will submerge in a state of panic, intangible control, feeding the human mind. The left hand is spine, abominated the watery planet, and left the inhabitants with a rehabilitated consciousness. Let's take an excursion to the inner earth to see how much higher species we can identify, redefine humankind. Music Illuminati bloodline with snake-like eyes, spreading non-existent time, stuck in a paradigm, obliterated by the cold-blooded, contemplated the thought to burn the world down. We're headed in a downward spiral. It's our responsibility to spread awareness. Rainforests slowly deplete, more animals become extinct. Tornado, classic, and a flu pandemic, mega tsunami, shifting on its axis as tectonic plates reconsider the broken crust. Astrological cataclysm will soon light up the galaxy. The fires of hell burn only in deep pockets of the brain, flooding the winter solstice, flooding the mental disturbance.
When the gods return to the earth, the skies will blacken and the air will burn. The winds will scream, the tortured souls will return to redeem their mother's once honorable name. The trail of tears will drop and turn into acid rain. Slow pain as it falls onto your face and creeps back to your brain. Signs of things to come like earthquakes and tornadoes. Trees ripped from the earth, tossed through the air like torpedoes. And man, the biggest blade of them all, we're killing each other, ripping into our mother. Why? Because we know we got to burrow deep. The heat from the skies about to melt the streets, disintegrating the borders. We deserve the world's new order. That's the order in which we get ditched by this big bitch. So pitch me a new line, not back, teach me to flow. And there's only water in the skyline. But when the floods come, they come. So ready or not, hold up, I'm getting ahead of myself. But that's the kind of thing these days. My pens have run dry, documenting the countdown, and it plays over and over again, followed by the thunder, electrical storms and hordes, swarms of locusts. Where did we lose our focus, our hocus, our pocus? Now our magic is all gone.
Mighty cataclysmic event collide within our own lifetimes. Get a world gone flatline with the earth engulfing after destruction. Cities on the seas and the skies are bleeding heat waves. While weather shifts take place in the opposite sides of our planet. Electromagnetic storms, hurricanes and tornadoes flourish. Rainforests deleted in a vast ocean turning to sand dunes. Multiple roadways showing face in the case of another disaster. Earthquakes falling homes and the skeleton tombstones. On a global awakening, are we ready for the truth? Versus lies and desperation, like catastrophic devastation, giving birth a new star. Many questions to ask these incompetent minds of high-powered designs. Who leave the rest to die? No knowledge of why the end is near. Documented in ancient years. A racist challenge to persevere. A racist challenge to persevere.
Cosmic holograph coordinates, multi-dimensional galaxy. Take a jump into the cosmic portal, end up on the other side of the Milky Way. Galactic black hole star theory, subatomic particles accelerate energy to the meditation metamorphosis. High energy gamma manipulating radio waves, synchronicity, enigmatic blueprint remanifesting a metaphor, physical reality. Hail the measured human unusual frequencies and natural instinct. Everything is speculation, everything is speculation. Elliptic equating of the sun to reflect off the moon to bring tides. Sunspot cycles in these kaleidoscope eyes. Magnetic field, earth, natural disaster curriculum. Pandemic elliptical orbit, pandemic elliptical orbit. Microcosm, convoluting. Serving a citizen with bleeding a chasm. Chastised before you baptized with the necktie noose. Here's my truths, blues, who's truths, and tutus. And who knew grandmas would be dying in the streets over diabetes. When I'm writing over beats, might just be lying in your treats. Now, common courtesy and a curtsy in her to hurt me. Pleasurable pain, measure her pain. Any seer guide, guile, style, walking down the aisle, remember the smile. Full trials, whatever, clever, get your precipitation. In a buzz of terminations, racing irrational, gentle curse. Everyone knows my verse, rehearse. No, I won't carry a purse. Terry for days, my government was so crazy. What? My government was so crazy. Man, again, I'm okay, I'm gonna be a little bit different than you can never bring me. Look at everyone's on the tip, you're different, I'm fucking bullshit, shit. Doo-doo, poo-poo, shishi, pee-pee, doo-doo, poo-poo, shishi, pee-pee, doo-doo, poo-poo, shishi, pee-pee. Proportional to the sidewall freak, mutilated corpse face in a cookie jar. Opposite to the opposition of a formaldehyde canister, shattered down the skull of a god. Double killing men, running for the night marchers. Levitated from the hair, implementing the corner, come walking to corporated dead jargon, running with no feet. And the leftovers for last night, instead of decided to escape the microwave. Crept up with utensils to the brain, astral travel throughout the spaghetti. Meatballs fall from the skies, the race gravy into the eyes of the polluted. Mad human disease, me camera confession, the next generation of lies. Meatballs fall from the skies, the race gravy into the eyes of a corrupt polluted enterprise, planning in the minds with the manipulating franchise.
Conduit for excellence, antagonist breeding savagery, convey social stability, civilization, sterilizing individuality, fractal whip, sheep for raising foreign tongues, or Asian Apollo shun, another soma for your birds, known as a surgical weapon, electrical plastic deflection, exceptional set of ascension, Skyberry, all is on the way home, domino effect, elimination, processing misanthropes, placing you in test, do cast systems, so let me stashes of electromagnetism and class division, suicide will be your last decision, medicated and preventative in clinic, we take them in that express, no rest for the wicked and lust eternally. They sleep in pieces of my needless decency, reaping essences for drinking at assemblies frequently.
Mental fingerprint analysis and open the microchip clinic, human slave. Cybernetic modified and planted and controlled. Identifications injected into the newborn. Technical prisoners, open device rappers, supercomputers, intelligent interfaces. American every book, government surveillance, electronic warfare, digital leaders. Artificially assimilated influence of one of the many cybersols in the makeup of population. Mind control system for the neighbor crocodile. Some provided them programs and versions of more open, you want the lesson first. International satellite, counter satellite, radio
crack the body, robotic backhand. Eliminating the privacy, totalitarian new world order. Counteract independent thinking, growing like a bad case of lethal bacteria. We're told to get freedom and we're gullible enough to believe it.
Promise of prophet of a prophecy of humanity, chronic quantum pounder with transcendence and mystery. Your God's string theory, been a wank. Jurassic like fish, wish list, falls Christmas. To now see them, big biotech, red nitrogen, tropic, filtered aquarium. Aquarius side to see the one girls use you. I'm hoping you'll found the Crystal myth, lavin, one economic trees, and magic statues, erratic, meds, angel, fish, rose, wings, glowing, Icarus, madness, source and sons of cosmos, girls and ones. Suspended from herself. Malcolm make a channel, business by one, stop by his malfunction. Sex, Jurassic, face, back to twist, static, bitch, embrace the flesh.
Schizophrenic, psychiatric battle, sophisticated equipment. Fuck the elite, fuck the puppet masters. I feel like I'm already monitored. Decoded thoughts, I feel the mental torture. Spread awareness even if you're off your rocker. Pulse under your bypass. Cold symbolism in the kitty, got every use in the only biological empire. Explode powers faster than a carpet. Observe the sacred spiral. Quad helix, 2012 wide awakening. I congregate Dr. Dominican Evangelist Inquisitor. Instrument of death, freemason is the luciferic symbols. The primal wavelength in the record, intelligible cosmos, organizing principles. Pattern structure, harmony and culture. Adapt to humanity in the mind to the top war. Practicable spiritual destiny. Dripping red flag tapped in the broken frequencies. Manifested energy and topic particles. Microscopic syllables, cataclysm arcane. If you lack in the picture, there's Jurassic fish. Waiting for the glitch, the version of evil. If you lack in the picture, there's Jurassic fish.